Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel, Noll-Knitty. My name is Linn and I like to talk about knitting, so that's what I'm gonna do in this video. You can find me outside of YouTube. You can find me on Instagram as Books and Knitting and on Ravelry as My Diorama. I use Ravelry mainly to keep track of my projects and to browse patterns, but I really do use Ravelry as a way of tracking my projects. So, and I try to at least put in the pattern, the yarn and the needles into Ravelry, because I find I've been using it for 10 plus years now, and I find it a really good way to keep track of all my knittings. So if there's any details that I'm missing when I'm talking, you can most likely find them in my Ravelry projects if you want to go and have a look. On Instagram I don't post very often, though I do post more often than I do on YouTube. So if you want to keep following along in between these YouTube videos, feel free. Let's connect and enjoy chatting about knitting. That's what I'll be doing in today's video. I have 2 finished projects that I have done, and then after I've been knitting, though I haven't been knitting a lot because it's been a lot of work and not a lot of mental capacity to continue knitting, because I tried to well, you know, it's nice to have these easy projects to knit, but the 4 projects that I currently have on my needles, none of them I would count as a easy breezy project, but I'll get into it. I'll start with what I've finished since the last time, which is 2 little projects. I have first up a pair of socks. These ones are knit in Järbo Raggi yarn. This is like a blue-black speckled yarn, very classic sock yarn. And I think I knit these on 4.5mm needles. I bought these shorter ones. They're probably like 10 centimeters, so they're not long at all, and I find that to be probably something I prefer. Now that I've been knitting for a while, I realized that I do prefer shorter knitting needles, even when it comes to cables and such. I've now tried a pair of shorter needles and I really like them. But as for double pointed needles, definitely I like the shorter ones where barely the stitches fit on the needle. It makes it easier for them to slip out, but it's way easier when I do actually knit in the round. But these socks was a fast, easy knit, and the pattern I used was, I used the base of a pattern called Drakabäcken sock by Järbo garn, so it's the same company that has the yarn, but I switched it up because the pattern has a colored chart with patterns up top, but I just wanted to make a pair of really simple socks, so I followed the instruction. It's a toe up construction with, I think it's called like a fleagle heel. It makes a little triangle right here before the heel. I really enjoy that construction. I don't knit socks that often. I think in the previous episode that I posted, I also showed off another pair of socks that I made. It's the same pattern, and I knit them, these ones, exactly the same. And I used, for both of these, I used around 150 grams of yarn, so 1.5 ball of yarn. And I haven't blocked these yet. I don't think I will, because it's just a pair of warm winter socks. And yeah, I've started to enjoy sock knitting, probably because these are easy compared to the larger projects that I've got going. And sometimes you need something to break, like as a break in between these larger projects. And the second finished object is one of those two. This is one of the classic croissant roll-ups here. This is the Sophie Hood and not the Sophie scarf. So this is the hood part, and then it becomes a scarf. This is the small size because I wasn't sure if the yarn would be enough. I used scrap yarn that I had at home. This is knit in Gynt, Sandnes garn, and I think I used 4 skeins or 4 balls of yarn, so about 200 grams of yarn. And needle size, was it probably 4 millimeters or something? I followed the pattern and I used the same needle size. I just switched the yarn, and I really do like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it as much as I do, but I really do. I enjoyed knitting it, and I really enjoy wearing it as well. My only the only thing that I find I don't like about it is that I find, and it's probably because of my knitting, I didn't even check if the yarn was like compatible. I just switched the yarn compared to the pattern. But I find the hood to be almost a bit too shallow on my head. It goes right up to my hairline, but since we have very cold weather, I would like to be able to do this with the hood, but then it rides up in the back instead. So other than that, it is really good. I can wrap it around and barely tie it at the front. So this was the small size, and I'm thinking I'll probably make a larger one later on, because this one, it's a very easy knit as well as a very useful knit for me. I've been using it a lot just as a scarf like this too, because it also stays in place because it has the middle part where the hood is, so it rests naturally at the back of your neck. I now realized I haven't blocked this. Maybe it will grow a bit to make the hood a bit larger if I block it. I'm gonna try that to see where it ends up. But it is a very fast and easy knit, and Gynt as a yarn, 100% wool, makes it really super warm and nice scarf hood combination. Oh, and I can see, I find it hard to know exactly if I did the same amount of increases or decreases depending on which side you're on this scarf hood, but they don't really match up at the end here. That's okay though, because it's not visible at all when you're wearing it. It's just maybe an annoyance when you lay it out flat and you want to look at it, that it doesn't really match up at the end, but that's okay. I could really recommend this pattern to someone who wants a hood scarf. I now understand exactly why this one was so very popular. It's a very good pattern and warm. I could make another brown one. This I also have Gynt, and I'm thinking, I saw that the pattern recommends Sandnes garn alpaca ull, which is a wool alpaca mix, but I do have Sandnes alpaca, just the pure alpaca yarn, and I'm thinking maybe I should do that, because the Gynt is 100% wool, but it is on the more rustic side, so it also tangles up your hair when you're wearing it. I have to be mindful that when I get home or get to work that I do have a hairbrush at that place, so that I can brush out the tangles that I get especially in the back where the jacket also rubs on it. But yeah, that was my 2 finished projects. Those are the easy knits that I have been like knitting on the bus, or just when I need to really relax. Other than that, I have, this one is almost, this one is getting closer, and this is probably the the most relaxing knit I have out of the 4 that I have going on. This is the Folklore sweater by Anna Sjösvärd. Look at it. I really love how it's looking. I'm knitting this in 1 strand of Plötulopi. So it is very light and airy. And obviously there's 2 strands up here because one is natural. It's not white. It's more of a undyed color. And then it's a black. It's not 100% black. I read the name of it yesterday because I'm going to order more because I'm running out. This is the very last bit I have, and I still have 2 sleeves to go. But I knit the front and the back. It has a little slit at the bottom here, and I added white. Basically when I bound off, I knit an extra round of white, and then I bound it off in white as well. It looks a bit frumpy now because I haven't blocked it yet, so it looks a bit silly. But this is a cropped sweater, so it's not very long. But that's okay. I have high-waisted jeans and skirts that I can wear it with. And so my plan is to make black sleeves with a white trim at the end, as well as I'm still thinking about the neckline, because the neckline, I think it was a 1x1 or a 2x2 rib. But that won't look very good in Plötulopi because it will be, I mean, the rib at the bottom here is a 1x1 rib, but that's at the end and not at your neckline, because at the neckline it will stretch. So I'm thinking, currently my idea is just to make a white or black I-cord bind off, like at the edges up here, and not do a rib at all. That way it will be a bit wider at the neckline. We'll see. But this one is just, you know, currently it's just 1 color stockinette to knit. So this one is also pretty easy to knit. And then my other ongoing projects, I thought I'd mention them, but I'll probably go more in depth with these projects either in when they're finished, or I'll make like separate videos with them. I'll see, but I'll mention them shortly because I have mentioned them previously. Oh yeah, I stopped in a very unfortunate point here because I was gonna switch yarn, but let me see. This is my Cambrige cardigan, number 2. So this is for my partner who also wanted one of these Cambrige cardigans. And this one is in black and purple. I hope the purple, that you can see the purple. I can see my light here makes it look sort of orange red on my little screen. But this is a black and purple cardigan or jacket. And it's going really well now that it's the second time I'm making it. But the start is, I would say, the trickiest part to remember which parts am I increasing, when am I stopping, like all these steps. But I feel I got a better hang of it this time than I did the first time. So it's coming along. We're doing the same size medium, and this is Gynt yarn as well. And I'm using the same needles. It's 4mm needles, and I do knit a bit loose, so the one I knit for myself is pretty roomy, and this one will probably be around the same size, but since my partner has a bit wider shoulders than me, it will fit him perfectly. So this is a status update. I'm not yet separating for sleeves. I'm still working on these shoulder caps, and it's getting there. This one's starting to becoming more and more mindless, so to say, because I'm getting to the parts where I'm only like increasing in certain areas and not all the time, every row. But yeah, it is a good testament to the pattern that I am willing to make a second one immediately, even though it's a 2-colored pattern all over, and it took me quite a while to knit the first one. I'm still excited to make a second one. So this is on Ravelry, it's called Cambrige cardigan. The designer is Sara Ottosson. You also find this pattern at Järbo. Was it Järbo? Svarta fåret. Svarta fåret. Yes, this was Svarta fåret and not Järbo. They have the same like mother company. So you can go to Edna and download the pattern in like 6 languages. So I highly recommend it. It's a very fun knit as well, though it's a bit complicated. And today is the 22nd of February. So today the Olympics is wrapping up. And I've been knitting somewhat on my Olympic 1994 sweater, Lillehammer. This is my first sleeve. This is also like my swatch to see. I had this idea that I could knit it with a 2-ply sport weight yarn. It calls for, it called for something a little bit thicker than this yarn. And a lot of people have been using Sandnes garn per Gynt and like gotten the gauge pretty close to. I think my gauge is slightly tighter than the pattern recommends, but I have no like fear that I will mess up because I've been trying it on and it fits pretty nice. I just need to be mindful about the length, but that's always my Achilles heel, that my stitches become pretty long when I knit. But yeah, so this is my first sleeve. I'm getting into the color part up here, and then the sleeve is finished. And I'm really excited for this sweater, but I'm gonna let it take the time it takes, because this is not one of those where you just sit mindless and knit. Like, this part was pretty easy, but this part and this part wasn't. And so the body of the sweater has a lot of detailed charts in the middle, and it's probably going to take me quite a while to knit this one, but I'm letting it take the time it takes. This is the under, what do you say? This part of the arm where I do the increases, and this is how it looks like. I put all my stitch markers there, and you can see I left like just a black background color instead of trying to like get half of a little pattern. I don't know if it's flowers or diamonds, or I left a little black row in the middle where I do the increases. So this is knit in 2-ply yarn. The black and white is Svensk trådig from Järbo garn, and the colored parts are Kampes trådig that I've colored myself in yellow, a dark pink, and a light purple. So yeah, this one's slowly like going forward, and oh yes, I was gonna show you these. I bought new needles. I don't do that very often, and I bought, of course I don't remember the name, but these are Knit Pro, and they have the short tips. This is 4mm, and they're like swivel tips. I've never tried that before, and I really liked it. So they're a bit more fancy than my like standard Knit Pro Symphony is the kit that I bought like 10 years ago, and I still use it to this day because I really like the wooden needles. But I'm trying this cable with the swivel connection, and so far I'm really liking it, and I really love the short tips. Like, why didn't I discover short tips previously? But I have now, so I probably will be investing in more of these short tips and these swivelly teal cables, because I really like them. That's that one. Did I have one more? I do. I have, let me let me grab my last little project. It's over here. This is my sign vest. Ooh, let me see. Why is it? Okay, I hope you can see it well. It's on a cable because I tried it on the other day and it fits really nicely. Look at these cables. This is Nora Gahn that designed them, and she is an expert at cables. Look at them. And it has the same like cable chart in the back as well. So you start by knitting the back, I think, and then you pick up and you knit the front, and then you join them in the arms, under the arms, and then you just knit the body. And so I am chugging along on this one. This one, of course, too, is one of those where you have to follow a chart and like really mark every row so you know where you are and what to do. And I'm knitting it with, can I see? I feel like I do this every time. This is a 3.5 millimeter needles, and I'm using Rauma Finull. This is color 4095. It's a very nice, sweet, soft yellow. Ta-da! I am very happy with all my projects, though they take a lot of thought process to do. So I'm now considering doing something more easy knits as well. Like maybe I want to knit a chunky sweater. Maybe I should start on a second Sophie Hood. Because in my head, I just want to do something that, you know, I can do quickly. But I really enjoy these longer ongoing projects when I do take the time to sit and knit them. But sometimes you just want something easy. And one of those things that are very easy that I started this year is a temperature blanket. I decided, because I've been tempted to do one of those temperature blankets for a couple of years now, but sometimes you have to, like, in the pattern it says measure the temperature 3 times a day, and you know, they're usually crochet. And last year Svarta fåret released one that had knitting, but it was still quite a lot of knitting to do every day. But this year the timing was right, and their temperature blanket is crochet, but it is flowers, and I couldn't resist it. So I have learned how to crochet flowers. Ta-da! This is, you knit a flower a day. So this is the 1st of January, and it continues. It got a bit colder over here, and then it got milder again, closer to, these are like closer to 0 degrees, maybe even a plus degree. These ones are pretty cold, and I'm really happy. I didn't think this would be this much fun. So every day I have an alarm set, and when I press stop, it shows me the weather, and I make a screenshot, and that's the temperature I'm gonna crochet a flower from. So this was January, and let's see, these are the continuation of January. Oh, there's so many threads to fasten. Whew. January continued being pretty cold, and I made most of February too. February got even colder. I can barely see them because all of the loose threads, all the ends. February got even colder. I had to break out the dark green here for like -19 to -21 Celsius in the middle of the day. Not like during nighttime, but warmest temperature of the day was still very cold. So February was really, really cold, and I haven't catched up. This is not all of February yet, but I'm getting there. I didn't think it would be this fun to make these flowers, but I'm really enjoying it. I usually save up a few days or a week and then I just make the flowers. And I've been putting them on a little string like this to keep them in order by the days. And then because mounting them into, you mount them into like a strip like this, it takes a really long time. So but I'm keeping them in order so that I know how, like what day, and that I have enough for each day. So these are like my winter colors, ranging from like the very white as like zeros, and then goes up between purple, blue, green. I even have like, these ones are even colder. And then the summer colors, which we haven't gotten any plus degrees yet this year, but this is the color palette for summer is going to be white, purple, orange, purple, I meant pink. I really love these speckled tweed yarns, but I'm guessing like most of the summer temperature is going to be these colors. So yeah, this one will be a continuous update throughout the year, basically, because a flower a day, and it'll become like a medium-sized blanket. I think I'm gonna keep my update short for this time, and maybe I'll go into more details with these projects later on. Yes, I'll end it here. Thank you so much for watching this little shorter episode, and I hope you have a great time knitting, and I can't wait to knit more. Basically, I just want to knit more, and I hope you have a nice project going on your needles, or maybe that you found some inspiration from this little short video. But anyway, take care. Bye.